And we launched in January of 2003. And we actually had a sale on our very first day. It was not someone I was related to or someone that I knew, which was very exciting. It kind of felt like magic. And I think like that was, so if like going into those thrift stores and seeing those products and seeing opportunity was the seed, like that was like the moment when I feel like I became an entrepreneur. Like I was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like I can go out and find this stuff and I can like do all these things that I really like to do and like people will pay me for it. Like that's pretty awesome. And if I could like, I was like just getting started in my college career and I was just thinking about, you know, the things, what I wanted to be as an adult and the things I wanted to study and the things I wanted to do. And I kind of had this like inkling of like, wow, if I could do my own thing, like that would be pretty special. That would be pretty amazing. So I ran the business part-time while I was at school. I continued to sell one-of-a-kind vintage. And you know, it grew, it was like kind of fits and starts. You know, like some months it was really slow. We'd only have a handful of orders. I was doing whatever I could. I ended up being a double major. I double majored in business and in German. So I had like a pretty rigorous course load as well. But like on spring break, winter break, summers, like whenever I could, whenever I wasn't like, you know, doing other stuff that normal college kids do, like I just kept coming back to this. Like I loved it and I was getting better at it. And that was a really good feeling. And so when I was approaching graduation in 2006, I, you know, kind of my junior, my senior year, I really started thinking about ModCloth as a legitimate career option. And it was a scary decision to have to make. And one of the things that I intuitively did that I would recommend to all of you guys, and it's like been something that's been really powerful in my life, is like when you're making big decisions like this, and maybe it's obvious and you guys already do this, but if you're making big decisions, like sit down and really think about like what are the worst case scenarios and write them down and like get them out there. And you know, you won't get them 100% right, but like get comfortable with those. And then, you know, then you can go ahead and make your decision. That's always helped me. And this was definitely what I was doing at this time in my life. You know, I was thinking about like, wow, if this doesn't work, like I'm going to be behind my peers. Like I haven't gotten, you know, I was like kind of making these decisions of like, do I spend the summer working on the business or do I try to get an internship? Like, where do I devote my time? That's like the eternal question for, I mean, everyone, but particularly for entrepreneurs, where do I devote my time? That question will never go away. But I sat down and I said, okay, like if I don't get a job, like maybe, you know, people will look at me and say like, wow, like what was she doing? She didn't get a job right out of college. Like it's all these things. Maybe I won't be able to pay my student loans. Worst case scenario, like maybe I will go bankrupt. I'm young. I don't have a family. That's okay. You know, like I like put that all out there and really thought about it. And you know, it's scary, but at least like you know what you're scared of versus just like being afraid of like the unknown.